So in this video, I'm going to cover filters. You use filters because you have a data set and you want to get a subset of your data set. So in this particular case, I have this data set. So if I do control down, roughly about 5,000 records, control up. So let's say we just want to look at one of our salespeople, let's say Jesse. We want to get all sales for just Jesse. We can do this with a filter. We click inside of our data set. Usually I like to click on one of the labels, but it really doesn't matter as long as you're in it, and go under data and create filter. These little drop downs are going to show up. I'm going to go ahead and click on this arrow and then clear, and then go ahead and find, so clear again, scroll down, and hopefully we'll find Jesse at some point. Hit OK. Now, if you have a lot of options here, it might be challenging to scroll down and find something. In those cases, simply use this search box. And if you start typing, it will show up, so you can click, hit OK. In this video, I'm going to be a little more zoomed out than usual, just because to be able to click on the OK button on the filter and be able to filter it, I'm going to need this. So hopefully that will be fine. So let's get to some other options or filtering. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. So I'll do select all to get everybody, hit OK. That brings all of my options back. So let's look at some other options. Let's say we want to just get all of our locations that are in California. So in order for me to do this, I need to do a partial match on this location column. So I'm going to go location, and I'm going to use this filter by condition. And it says none, so I'm going to open that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that my text ends with. And then it's going to end with comma space CA. That was by the pattern. So we usually have the states in the end. So it's a comma space. That's the pattern I have here. I could probably just do space CA to go with that pattern. And now I just filter to everything that ends with that. You could do all kinds of options here. So for example, instead of text ends with, I could do text contains. And if I just do CA, so it's going to just pick everything that contains CA in it. For example, Chicago has CA in it. This has CA in it in the end. So as long as there's CA, it's going to pick it. So that contains anywhere in the text you have CA. Now you can also do the opposite. You can do does not contain. And now it's going to filter everything that has CA in it out and going to leave everything else on the screen. Now I just wanted to get California, so the logic was let's get everything that ends with CA in the end as a state. So I'll go here and do ends with, and again space CA should work. And this is not case sensitive, as you can see. It doesn't matter if you do uppercase or lowercase, it's still gonna find it. And that's my location filter. So I'm gonna take this filter off, switch to none, hit OK. So if I wanted to get every zip code that starts with 9, I would go here, zip codes, and do filter by condition. And then here I do text starts with, and just type 9, hit OK. And there we have it. We have all of those. So I'm going to just take this off, none. Now, what if we want to just filter to numbers that are above a certain number? So let's say we want to get everything that's above 200. So again, I'm going to go here, filter by condition, and see here is basically our text stuff. I'm going to move down, then we have our date. Now we want numbers. So I'm going to do greater than, and I'm going to type 200. So this gives me everything above 200. It is not going to include 200 in it. So if you wanted to include 200, you would have to do greater than or equal to. You can do less than or equal to. As you can see, you have a lot of options. You can do it's between or is not between these numbers. So I'll go ahead and do none again. Going to dates. So if you wanted to filter your dates, you click here So filter by condition. Now we can go ahead and do date is after or date is before. For example, if I do date is after and I can type a day. So see, we can do today, tomorrow, yesterday, but we can also just switch to exact date and we can type our date. So I'm going to say I want everything that's after 1/1/2017. Now, if I go here and switch to date as before that gives me everything before that date. If you wanted to get something between two dates, so if you look here, there is really no option for between dates, but you could just scroll down and use this is between option and it will work just fine. So I'm just going to do is between, and then let's say I want everything from June 1st, 2016 through July 17th, 2016. And there it is. It works. So this between option is really made for numbers. Generally, you just go here and use it for between, and you use it for numbers to get stuff between two numbers. But you can also use it for dates, and it works just fine. So most of these options are pretty much, if you know where to find them, you should be able to just read and understand what it does. Easy to use. The only option that's going to be a little more confusing or a little more advanced in other ways, it will be using a custom formula. To be able to use a custom formula, for now I'm going to do none and hit OK. You need to be able to learn how to use logical test. And I have a video that covers if and ifs function. It would be a great introduction for logical tests. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead now and go through some basic options. So I'll go here and I'm going to start with an equal sign. I'm going to say the sales number is greater than 200. It says false. And if I keep copying this down, see it says false, false, false until it's true. So any formula that gives you an output of false and true, you can use for filtering. Let's see how it works. So what do? You take this first formula on top, you copy that, I escape out of that, and then I go back, and it really wouldn't matter which column I'm going to use for this, but let's say I'm going to apply it here. So filter by condition, scroll down, custom formula is, and then just paste my formula. Hit OK. And see, now everything is filtered to anything that's above 200. So basically anything that's true is going to stay. Anything that's false is going to be removed. So I'm going to go ahead and take this filter out. Let's do some other cases. You could do all kinds of things here, and it's really up to you how much in depth you want to go with this. So if I wanted to get every zip code where the third digit is 3, I could do equals mid, and this is my zip code. And I could say I want to start at third character and I want 1 character, close. So this should get me the third character. See, 374. Now I can ask, is this equal to, and since mid function returns text value, I'm going to type text3 and it says true and the rest are false. Now if I take that formula, include the equal sign, copy that, escape, I'm going to go here, doesn't matter which one, I'll use this one. Custom formula is, and paste my formula, hit OK. Now we should see just zip codes where the third digit is 3. So you could use logical functions like and or to get what you're looking for. Let's assume I want the third digit to be 3, but I want the first digit to be 5. I could use an AND function. So this just gives me the first digit is 3. So I'm going to cut that and use that inside of my AND function. Paste that, and then do comma. And then I'll use left function to get the first digit. So I'll say left from this text, the first character, one character from the left, equals 2. And again, it returns text. So in quotes 5. Then I hit enter. See, it says false. If I drag it down, at some point, hopefully we get it true. See, the first 5 and the third one is 3. And again, to get a full list, we just copy this logical test, go back here, and custom formula is paste. It's probably worth mentioning that you don't really need this column of trues and falses to have this work. You could just remove that column and it is still going to work. So you just have to place the correct formula in here, and it is just going to do what it's supposed to do. You don't need to have that extra column. So go ahead and do none. So now let's try to filter dates by year. So let's say I just want to filter this to 2016. So we can do that with a function. We can just use year function and click on that cell. So the year will extract the year out of the date. See, it just gives us 2017. And I'm going to ask, is that equal to 2016? And it returns a number. So no quotes this time. So it's not, because it's 2017, right? But now I can just get this formula, copy it, escape, go back, and use my custom formula, paste it here. Okay. And there it is, filtered to 2016. So now let's do an example with or and and combined. Let's assume I want to filter to everything that's Nike above 200 and Adidas above 400. I'm going to do, first of all, let's just do Nike above 200. I'm going to say and. I want to make sure that this equals Nike, comma, and I want to make sure that this is greater than 200 at the same time. So we either want this, so I'm going to cut that without an equal sign, or the other option, so this is where we use the or function. I'm going to go ahead and paste the first and function that gives me that Nike. And then I'm going to do another and function, which is going to cover Adidas case. So I'm going to say, or this equals Adidas, comma, and at the same time, this is greater than 400. So I'm going to close parentheses, and that's going to close this and. I also need to close this or parentheses here. So I'm going to do another one, hit enter. And then that's our logical test. I'm going to copy that formula, hit escape, go back, and custom formula is, paste my formula, hit OK. And there we have it. See, Nike above 200, Adidas above 400. So you can do all types of logical tests. You could also do some sort of calculations, obviously, to get something. So let's say we wanted to get all the sales where we have profit margin above a certain percentage. So to get our profit margin, I'm going to start with an equal sign. I'll take cost of goods divided by sales. So that's going to give me what percentage of our total revenue is cost. So to get our profit margin, we will have to do this, 1 minus that. So that's our profit margin for that particular sale. So let's say we want all sales where our profit margin is 70% or higher. So I'm going to create a logical test from this. I'm going to put this in parentheses, and I'm going to ask, is it greater than 0.7? If we want to include 0.7 in it, 70%, we'll do greater than or equal to. So again, to use this in your filter, just copy, go back, and paste. Everything where profit margin is 70% or higher. Take this off. So it's a little counterintuitive that you can actually use that formula in any one of these columns and it's going to work the same way, but you get used to it after a while. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. So the next thing I want to show you, which is possibly the most powerful way to do filters, is to use a function called regexp match, which allows you pretty much to use regular expression to filter your results. So if you're familiar with regular expression, that probably gives you a clue how many possibilities you have with this. If you're not, I have a lot of videos covering regexp match extract functions. Maybe watch those and you'll see how this actually works. I'm just going to cover some basic things. So I'm going to go and do that zip code example when I wanted the first digit to be 3 or 5 and the third digit to be 3 or something like that. So I'm going to click on this, comma, and I'm going to do my regular expression in quotes, close parentheses. Now I'm going to go between quotes and do my regular expression. So I wanted to start with 5. So starts with in regular expression is this caret symbol. And we do 5. After the 5, I want 1 character. That's going to be any character. So that's our period, which means any character. After 5, I wanted 3. So I'll go ahead and hit enter. So this gives me a value error. So if I roll over this, it says parameter 1 needs to be text and 31332 is a number. So we need to make sure that this is text since we're working with regular expression. So this H2, it's a number. So we need to convert that to text. So quick way to convert this to text is to use a function called left. And left usually use it to get some number of characters from the left, like we did before to get the first character on the left. But in this case, after the comma, I'm just going to use a very large number. And the reason I'm doing this is because left function returns text. And that's what we need to provide our regular expression. And you can see this one is a match. Now, if we wanted the 5th character to be 4, I can go here and do after 3, there is a period, and then there's going to be a 4. That's our new regular expression. Now, if I just get this copied, escape, go back here, by condition, custom formula is, paste, okay. There we have it. Everything that starts with 5, the third digit is 3, and then the last one is 4. Okay, taking that off. Let's do another one. This time, let's try to select multiple states. Let's try to do California, Illinois, and New York. So to do this, I'm going to do a match with regular expression. Now we're going to use this column, and it's text, so we don't need to do that left function anymore, comma. Now I need my regular expression to match those. So in quotes, close parentheses, now here, I need to match California. So I'm going to do comma space CA, and then I'm going to do the pipe, which is our OR symbol for regular expression. And then I'll do comma space IL and another pipe, and then do comma space MY. So that should give us true for hopefully those states. See, New York, California. Now we can just go ahead and copy this, escape, go back. Custom formula is paste California, Illinois, and New York as a result of this. So basically we can do any type of pattern matching with regular expression. The only thing that's probably worth mentioning here, let's just hit OK. If let me select this one, lowercase ca. If I use this formula, Copy and filter this. See, regular expression is case sensitive, so we're not getting lowercase ca as a result. So a remedy for this problem, if you want to include those, well, you can complicate your regular expression to say this or that. But what I like to do, I just take this text that's provided and I put it inside of a lower or upper function. In this case, because I provided everything in uppercase, I'll do upper, but you could do lower and then use lowercase letters in your match. So I'm going to do upper, and that will convert the text to uppercase, and then it wouldn't matter. It will still get the result. So I'm going to do this. Now let's try that. Oh, something I did wrong here. I did too many parentheses there, and this one doesn't have to be here. Now copy, go back and filter condition, custom formula is, paste. And now you see how we get this one too, because we first converted it to uppercase and then it will match our regular expression. So again, if you're interested in learning more about regular expression, go ahead and check out my videos about it. I have about 4 videos covering regular expression functions, and that will give you a lot of insight what type of symbols, what meanings they have, and how they work. I'm going to go ahead and do none on this, hit OK. So that brings us back to normal. Delete this column, and that should cover things that you really need to know about filters in general and how to apply filters. Obviously, you can apply filters to multiple columns at the same time. So you could, for example, filter this one to just one region, and then filter this to one brand. And this will give you the results you're looking for. Now, if you want to take the filter function away, you can just go under data and turn off filters. And now our data is back and all the drop downs are gone. So that should be it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to cover filter views and show you what are some reasons to use them and what's different about filter views compared to regular filters. But for this one, that should be it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.